I don't support chauvinism, nor do I support feminism. Feminism is really just as bad as chauvinism. It's just this feminine polar opposite, right? Like my mother's a feminist, and she helped me get on socialized medicine, and they over medicated me for years and years and years for quite a while, and they kept on just like try to appease them, um, and it was like the Canadian Mental Health Association. It's like all women predominantly, right? So it's all there's way too many female things. There's too strong a female presence in there. There should be for any of those government official jobs, there should be an equal ratio of men to female, male to female, because it's very serious. So that we don't have like a feminist or a chauvinist thing. Even like we don't have enough male teachers. It's all women teachers and all women school board. It's just like when feminists get power, they're like what's the word? Not schizophrenic. Sociopaths. They get kind of evil and twisted. Like they're almost parallel when a real hardcore feminist gets in there. So we really have to stop. Justin Trudeau is a feminist. He doesn't like white males, especially like they scare the shit out of him. He thinks that's a good thing. I believe in treating people fairly, like and equality. But even like for him to say that he's a feminist is like that means he doesn't like men, right? And as we noted at the debate, it's all women. We don't have any very few males. Like we got one on very very few white males. To tell you the truth, that's for certain. Downtown Toronto's like all white guys, like all white people, pretty much. Right, certain part depends where you go, but you know, I'm hanging around Bloor Street and shit like that. But it's gotten a little too far, right? Like at the debate, it's all covered by all women. Well, don't my testicles need to get represented there too for you know, what they think, you know, their rights and stuff, their rights and privileges, you know, my so-called white male privilege. Feminism's gone way too far, way out of control. Like all this, like it's okay, it's a good thing. It's not like, you know, like I said, we don't support chauvinism, nor do we support feminism. Feminism is just its polar opposite. That's all it is. Don't ever think going around saying like I'm a feminist. That's like me going around saying I'm a chauvinist, right? That's the equivalent of that. So Justin Trudeau go around saying that I'm a feminist. That's actually a very bad thing, buddy. Like that's definitely not what I shouldn't be winning anyone any points, right? Because feminism's bad. It's evil. It's like the one thing for what it started off to in the '60s. Like it was basically parallel to the civil rights movement. It's like Black Lives Matters is not the same thing as the civil rights movement. It's a bunch of gangbanging black guys trying to say get the cops to leave me alone so I can get away with doing murder. Feminism is just a bunch of male haters, right? You know, chicks that hate, you know, males. I like to get up there and emasculate and crush them and stuff like that. That's not cool either, right? And we have a total disproportion of what's going on these days in the media and whatnot. That's pretty fucked up. Like this all happened under Barack Obama and Justin Trudeau. Conservative blue for sure, but like I said, like, you know, there are quite a few women in our media that do an impeccable job, right? And but there's no longer a like the white male in Toronto media is almost going the way of the dodo, right? So that's actually sad. Like, you know, there need to be some more young white guys in there too. It's okay, guys. You don't have to. You're more than entitled to it, right? You know, there's no reason why you shouldn't be in there. It's getting a little too out of hand. That's for certain. A little too political correctness, right? So, I don't know. Like, I don't know who I'll vote for. I guess I'm gonna go for Maxime Bernier because whatever this movement of whatever he's trying to start has to start somewhere. Even if he doesn't, even if he's not making it, right? If it gets like this libertarian, this People's Party movement, this a fair balance back in there, like say this Lily Singh chick, right? You know, like I never heard of her, but now like a guy I think maybe on CTV or I guess on ABC After Dark or something like that. Darren Jones, this guy, like Darren Jones, like, you know, he kind of pissed me off, I say, but he'd be good to have his own talk show because he's kind of a funny, witty guy. maybe right here in downtown Toronto. He's kind of a funny, witty guy, and he's kind of clever. And he's been in the Toronto media for the Canadian media for almost 20 years now, like 15. He's been around for actually quite a while, actually. So he'd be really good. We just need white males need to be represented. Right? What can I say, right? It's just like, it's like, I don't like, can't be all chicks all the fucking time, like all girls, right? Like it's like this gone way too far. Like like I don't know what crack you chicks are smoking, but it's not gonna be your like my mom used to say women are gonna take over the world. Like I didn't realize my mom what a bitter feminist is. Women will be a big part of the future, a contributing part of the future. It'll be a mix, right? It won't be back like in middle of the times when it's like, get back and make me a sandwich. I like a chick, but they'll be a part of it. They'll be equals. Well, for the most part. I don't know, gene editing. Who knows, right? But as for them taking over the world, no, women are not taking over the world. That is not happening. Like Nancy Pelosi is really a bitter old feminist, and the whole liberal movement is pissed off because Donald Trump has done such a better job than Barack Obama on one term. Barack Obama had 2 terms and he totally fucked it up. And the liberals are really pissed off about Nancy Pelosi is just your encompassing of old feminist, right? Baby boomer old feminist. She's just like, that wrapped up in a nutshell, right? She's a bitter old woman, right? She's probably, I just get, like that's the things that are starting to come to the surface. It's bubbling to the surface for a while now. These bitter feminist chicks, right? Like, do I hate women? No, actually, I like them quite a bit. They're a lot of fun. I mean, all right, throw it out there. We'll take it out there on some of our CP24 personalities, right? Like PJ or Christina, even and what's her name, Ardra. They're all kind of fun, happy little chicks, and they got their own interesting personality. And they're kind of interesting. They're interesting characters. Like, there's a few. It's almost all women in the media though. We have Brandon Gonez and George and what's his fucking name, Bill, aka Lassie. But it's all girls, right? Like it's like anything you can do, we can do together, right? But it's getting like ridiculous, right? Like I saw a chick in the working construction. She can keep your weight. You guys are happy. Who cares, right? So, but they'll be a big part of the future. The work, but. As for catering to feminism, no. It's like it's served. A lot of things have served their purpose and gone too far over. Justin Trudeau is a prime example of too much of leftist behavior. Tell you the truth, like I'm not, like I said, I'm a conservative guy, registered member of the Conservative Party. But as far as the leftist movement, I'm more moving towards Maxime Bernier, right? I like Maxime Bernier, but he's my guy. Even though it's just like slim to none. As far as the leftist movement, I'm more actually if they just, I don't know, tweak this about a bit, I'd probably actually move towards the NDP. But I hate unions and things like that. Like I think they're unions for control freak. They're fags. Fags, right? Like the thing is, Jack Renee's saying, like I'm supportive of a secular bill, right? Like I think when he took that turban off, it's like wow, he's like, cheers, buddy, right? But the thing is, when it comes to leftist type guys, I don't feel he's playing a character like Justin Trudeau's. I think that's the real deal, right? I think Andrew Schneer is probably the real deal. Him, Maxime Bernier's Maxime Bernier. Justin Trudeau, like he's a drama teacher, so he's just like this fluffy character, right? For like leftist guys, like Juggernaut seems like a real genuine person. Like, he just feels like he's just being himself. Justin Trudeau feels like he's a liberal fucking control freak. He's just like liberals lie through liberals. Like the whole baby boomers have gone up with being liberals, and liberals are awesome. Liberals are immoral and like to lie through their teeth. And the more the baby boomers got involved in them, the more and more immoral they got and lied and lied and lied and lied. Like Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, right? Bill Clinton, right? Right. So this is like, prime examples of it. It's like, like I'm sure Joe Biden is not innocent. I think what Donald Trump did, that's called business, man. That's not anything close to the implication of probably what Hillary Clinton's got under her cloak, right? Like those emails that she shredded and burned, like what's going on there, right? Look what she did to Bill. He looks like something off of Night of the Walking Dead, right? Bill Clinton is the Walking Dead, right? I liked Bill though; he was cool. I like John Kerchen too. Actually, they were cool. But as for the most part, it's like modern like Barack Obama. Joe Biden is 5 more years of Barack Obama, and that's more Big Brother, control freak, more unnecessary rules and regulations, more trying to keep you down. It's like once again, CP24 is beautiful. Christina Aguilera, she's got and Patricia. They both have a big set of beautiful, man-made breast implants, and I think I was like, whoa, honey, I'd love to take Christina out to her, like say, her favorite restaurant in Vaughan and go for a walk through McMichael Art Gallery, or something like that. That would be fun, right? I would like that. That would be a fun little adventure, right? And maybe go out for I don't know, I'm getting a little soap in my eye. A little hot cup of cocoa or something. But I think that she looks beautiful. It's like, like I said on that Bimbo Nation post, right? It's like, it's all these other like kind of like chicks that, like my mom, right? It's like, she's like, I could have been, like she's saying this now, I could have been a Toronto girl, or I could used to go to the gym. It's like, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. Like, we never stopped you. It's like, oh, just making up excuses for like not doing it. Right? That's the way they are. Like, then they're like, they're just fucked, right? But hey man, I love those. Like, it's just like, it's like ear piercing or tattoos or something like that. At first it was really taboo, but now it's like, or there's a couple other chicks, right? It's not a big deal now. But I like big ones, right? That's just who I am, right? But the liberal movement, like they're gone to like too control freak, right? They're not neutral anymore. They used to be kind of neutral. Like the conservatives are like the new like JFK. Like Donald Trump is more like a John F. Kennedy almost in some ways. He's like 70 years old, but the conservatives, right, or me, a libertarian, represent a new hope, a new way of thinking, a new way, because like they just rules and rules and rules and rules and rules and rules and rules, and they want to regulate the internet and this and that. So I can't say what I want, and blah blah blah. So I think it's probably time for some new social media apps. What's that guy from Windows? Maybe we could develop something with him. That would be, or Jeff Bezos, something like that, right? Between those guys, that would be those guys to work with, but more because they're trying to like limit our freedom of speech, like limit this. It's like, no, man. As you get older, you realize that, and that's what we need to tell the young people. Young people, liberals are people that will control you, tell you what to do, and how to live your life. When conservatives are in, it's more like, I think Ronald Reagan, George Bush Jr., George Bush Sr. Things were cool, hip hopping, bebopping. Chicks were sexy as hell. Pop culture was cool. But I'm guessing though, when the liberal government gets in, what do you call it? Media heads change, right? Like the studio heads change, right? So they'll have more liberal type guys, like more passive and stuff like that, like more pussy shit. It's like, like sexy. I love sexy chicks, right? Like a sexy hot chick, like oof, that's like floats my boat, like. But conservatives like, no, they were the first ones to give the women a vote. They annulled slavery, right? JFK was not going to fucking any civil rights moves. Nixon was, but the only thing that really turned it there was JFK got Martin Luther King out of jail, whereas Nixon didn't. He thought that'd be a bad idea, it'd make him look bad, right? But that was the big flip for the liberals, right? That's the thing like a lot of people don't realize, like, but we had Abraham Lincoln, abolished the slaves, right? Here in Canada, or I don't know, maybe in Canada, America, gave women the free vote, the right to vote, right, which is a big thing, right? So that was the first step in the right direction. But I've heard all kinds of things coming out. I've worked in the union for years, and I've heard all kinds of racist and shit like that. Work like this one liberal guy I was working with. The union was laid off, so I ended up working with him doing stonework. He's like, that's nigger work, right? I'm like, oh, let's be nigger. Now that's what they are, right? They're really like that. And as we've seen with Justin Trudeau, wearing, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the turban and stuff like that. Like I said, I've seen the other guy like just walking on the street, just Indian guy, like just Canadians like me. But Justin Trudeau, like, not a racist, like wearing black, like, come on, you're the Prime Minister's son, right? You're groomed for this, right? They said they groomed you to be a Prime Minister. This is the Prime Minister they wanted me, a closet bigot, a man hater, right? A feminist, right? Who doesn't like himself, obviously, right? Let alone love the country, right? For him to go and say I'm a feminist, right? Like, I'm not, like, hey, I support equal rights and equal opportunity, right? I support that, right? But I'm a feminist, I'm a man hater. The thing is, the liberals, the unions have gotten control of all the media, right? Because everything's all unionized, right? Which is liberal, right? So they'll try and trick you and contort you into this and that. It's like, even like our friends at CB24, that's a unionized thing, and they know I don't like the union, right? So they'll say all these things and tell them to say all these things, but then, like, Brad doesn't take them too seriously, right? So it's like, no matter what, I won't be working in the Toronto media because it's all unionized, right? So they don't really like me too much. So there's no point in me doing that. Like, I don't know what I'll do, but it's like, and as for this, it's like, my father ended up becoming a chauvinist, right? Because he's got really bitter towards women, like, it's like, but kind of rubbed off on me because I ended up working with him a long time, but I kind of stopped working with him, so I'm fine now. Like, I don't really, not to hit, like, I don't hate chicks, right? But as for this, like, my mother emasculated my father for years, and he ended up getting, whatever, and then she also did that to me. Like, women are taking over the world. We're equals, honey. You come a long way, baby, and now we're equals, and that's as far as we can go. As we're taking over the world, no, you're not. No, you're not. And I can treat you, like, with respect and whatever, right? But as we're taking the world, no, you're not. Get that out of your head right now. Like, anything you can do, I can do better. Forget that. Like, that's stricken from the rule book now. So this is like, her and some of her friends, it's like, I don't know what her deal is, but like, they went out their way to emasculate me. Like, that's see, for me to go do that to a person, like, that's kind of, like, I can be obnoxious and tease people and blah, blah. But there's a point when I like, my common decent will come in, and I'll just, like, stop. Right, I'll just stop, right? Because like, I wouldn't want to put anyone in, like, I couldn't work for 3 days for 3 years, right? Because the radios and all these guys were harassing me, like, all these little fucking people. It was like, that's no way to treat someone. And then I did get really clinically depressed because of that, and all of a sudden she thinks she'll have it her way. Like, no, right? Like, as Lacey, I want someone's like, even if you already do have kids, I don't know what your deal is. I think you'd be a really bad mom. Because, like I said, like, that's no way to treat people, What if you did have a kid? Like, even if you do, like, it looks like you have 2 boys. I feel sorry for them, right? Because you'd be a shit mom because you're a feminist, right? It's okay to be able to stand up for right and do your thing, but, you just, like, and then you play all these other little games with me, like, these weird little people dressing up in costumes and the other shit. It's like, what? I support equality. I'm more like to cater to Amber Rose's version of feminism. She doesn't hate men, right? But she definitely wants to stand up for her rights and be treated as a woman. And like, hey, I'm allowed to be a sexy hoe if I want to, if you so choose to. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, I like those chicks, man. Those chicks are fucking awesome. But, like this, like, hey, there's like a million other ways you could have done that. But to go out of your way to emasculate someone, like, that's no way to go, right? Like, I don't support liberals, right? I think she is a liberal, so it's like, fuck off, right? Get noticed, right? That's not a way to treat a person, right? Let alone a man, like, anyone, right? It's like, like, that's abusive behavior, right? Like, that's liberal control freak type behavior, feminist control freak behavior. Like, that's not how to behave, right? Like, So like, yeah, we do. Why? Because you say so? Says who? Says you or me? Right? Because why? Because you say so? That's like totally. It's gotta be like that's like a mutual decision, right? Like it's not like it's like that would just not make sense. That's actually really rude behavior, like to be like that. It's just like oh, and now it's okay, right? But like, oh, 8 years ago, you thought you'd emasculate me and da da da, and treat me like crap and blah blah blah, and insult you. It's like, I'm sorry, Josie. I don't know what your bag is, but please collect your things. You're off. You're off the island. That's you've not made the cut. Please collect your rose and go away. We don't want to hear from you anymore. Feminism, that type of feminism. Anyways, like I support equality, right? As for like what's the thing? I support sexual education, birth control, condoms, and all those cool things, right? But like abortion, like I'm kind of with the Donald Trump. If the girls got raped, I don't know. That's a slippery slope, man. That's a slippery slope. Like that's one for the Supreme Court to decide, because I like little kids. I think they're great. They're totally awesome. But to have them destroyed is and like I remember I was watching that Nest guy. What's his name? Oh, Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood was selling like little human baby parts on the fucking black market. And you can go get yourself checked out on AIDS on the street. I've been in LA, and they had an AIDS thing that you can go around the street there for. So, I don't know. I mean, hey, buddy, I'm a total supporter of CRISPR-Cas9 research, because now that they'll be able to stop it. But Planned Parenthood, like that's kind of gross, man. Like cutting up little babies and selling them on the fucking, like, give me a break, man. That's like genocidal, like Nazi shit. That's gross. I don't support like get back in the kitchen, hoe, or any of that shit. I'm not like that. I'm like, hey, yo, go get me a sandwich. I mean, hey, I like a strong, confident woman. Like, surprisingly enough, I really like Nikki Ben. She's a total hoe. That's okay, whatever, right? She is what she is, right? But take her personality. I think she's really funny. It's really hot. I wish she had bigger breast implants, but whatever. Actually, I almost feel guilty beating off to her, because we'd become kind of friends, right? So, I don't know. I feel it's like, I don't know. It's like, I've kind of learned to enjoy your personality for her. So it's really weird. It's really kind of weird. She's a really interesting woman, actually. I find, and she's a porn star, right? It's like, but she does a lot of those. Believe it or not, actually, I find a lot of those porn stars have very interesting personalities. Oh yeah, actually, I'm in the middle of Brad's log right now. Oh yeah, I know. Oh, anyways, well, so I don't know, but as for a feminist, it's like, no, man, you really need to, instead of like going around trying to emasculate people and bring people down and say like, oh, you're no good. It's like, you really actually need to look at yourself and like see what's missing with me, and like I said, develop some own self-worth and some own confidence before you go around trying to destroy other people, right? Like all these feminists in the mental health thing that over-medicated me and kept me down, right? Like, and the feminist Toronto, like a lot of it's a presence there, as we've seen, like, on certain elements of CBC. Like there's no more white, like, for them to have an all-female, and hey, I admit, for many years it's been a chauvinistic field of work. It's all males, right? Once again, I enjoyed the Busy Phillips show. I love the Busy Phillips shows. I really enjoyed that. It was really a lot of fun. It's been a very male-dominated industry. But now it's just like they're pulling all these dirty tricks and saying all this Me Too shit and all this crap. There's a lot of that's a lot of hooey. Like what they did to what's his name? That Italian fuck, James Franco. He dated these chicks, he tutored them or something like that and thing, and their careers didn't take off, so now they're pissed off about it. Well, I can only teach you some lessons. So I can't make the magic. You have to do that for you. It's like it's a lot of variables. It's timing, this and that, being the right place at the right time. It's a lot of things, right? But then again, you have Harvey Weinstein on the other hand, which is absolutely disgusting. And Woody Allen as well. Like, that's gross too, man. Like, don't think that's... We're not bringing Woody back. Sorry, guys. That's gross. But anyways, back to ours. An all female thing at the debate, and there's not one guy there. I would send just one man, white, black, brown, or anything. I wouldn't care as long as a pair of testicles like representing. It's like, who'd you have? I don't know. Send Brandon. Send the guy with the glasses. Send Don Lemon. Send Troy. Send the other guy that does question period. Send Dwight Drummond. Send someone. One set of testicles, right? There's been a gross disproportion of, especially white guys, but males to females in a certain thing. Like the Barack Obama, we're living in the fallout of Barack Obama's and Justin Trudeau's political correctness / feminist thing. I mean, hey, I like chicks. Honest to God, I think they're cool, lots of fun, and they have a very interesting perspective on things, right? Because their brains are wired like differently, right? They have different types of memory than us. It's just the way things are, right? It's just and it's served in evolutionary purposes, and it just takes on new aspects in modern day society. But to have all females and all minority shit, like that's a bit too much, man. Like I said, I liked you might want to integrate some, like I like Rick Campanelli. It's not a cake, and I said I liked growing up with Bill and George, and I guess I didn't really have too many cakes in the Toronto media at the time. Whatever. But that's not the point, right? Like, I wouldn't mind seeing some stuff like that in the sock and stuff, but like it's gone way out of proportion. It's absolutely gotten to the point where it's actually quite ridiculous, and it's got to stop, right? Like all these this whole world, like girls are gonna take over the world and stuff like that. No, you're not. You're gonna be a contributing part of the workforce of tomorrow, and we'll build a bigger and better future together. But as for this feminist bullshit, like it's got to stop, right? So what can I say? More power to the bimbo nation.